So I just did an episode with a guy. He's called the Dark Journalist. That's what he goes by. And he, mind blown. He was telling me, like, yeah, all the people that you think were involved in the assassination of JFK, they were involved. The intelligence agency, multiple intelligence agencies, the Federal Reserve, a bunch of people. One of the groups that I never heard of was basically the space program. Like, the people who ran the space program of that time were involved in it because Kennedy wanted to share all the information they had on, like, UFOs and technologies with the Russians, because he didn't want the Russians to think if they saw something weird in the sky, it was the U.S. and, like, some kind of weird nuclear weapon. Yeah. So, and you think about back then, who was involved in the space station, say with me, Nazis who were brought over, we discussed last time I was on the show.
Operation Paperclip.
Yeah. I don't think the Nazis lost. I think they just crip walked over here and set up shop.
Well, they definitely lost, but we took all the good ones that were engineers and scientists.
But
Russia took the other ones.
The only pushback I have on that, dude, is that if it's some kind of thing where we're sneaking them over, they're bringing them over, like, nobody changes their names. Like, everybody.
Well, they didn't have to sneak them over. They were brought under the protection of the United States government, and no one could know if they were Nazis. There was no information.
Yeah, but von Braun had his name, and he was like on trial. Everyone's like, we got this Nazi over here.
The Simon Wiesenthal Center said that if von Braun was alive today, they would charge him with crimes against humanity.
Yeah.
They hung the 5 slowest Jews in their rocket factory in Berlin to motivate people to work harder.
It's so crazy.
They were all Nazis.
So if you think about, the Nazis hated the Russians, and he wanted to share all this information with the Russians, and they did not like that at all. And here's the craziest thing. I always like, what do I want to tell Joe? Here's the craziest thing. I've had people on my show talking about this. Like, there is a belief out there that the head of the power pyramid of intelligence agencies is NASA. Because if you think about this, it's the one thing that everybody wants to work together on. Like, we're possibly we're having this weird kind of nuclear standoff with Russians, but somehow, some way, we're all working on a space station together. That and Antarctica are the two things where everyone, like, puts their differences aside. We're like, let's all work together. And it's like, there is this real belief that the head of the snake of the intelligence agencies, which is like Mossad, CIA, MI6, is NASA space station, is the NASA organization.
Space Administration.
Yeah.
The thing that would make that plausible is if the knowledge of alien life is absolute, real, and they have to protect that information from getting out.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to me because it's the one thing everybody works on. Even Antarctica's like, they're all in on this treaty. And then everyone's claiming a piece of Antarctica. And they all just work together, even though even though they may not get along in every.
What do you think about all that talk of direct energy weapons in Antarctica and all that shit?